Will the height of your QB truly affect the efficiency? And also, whether or not they're going to be recruited in your dynasty? We'll talk about that all today. All right, so there was a lot of information in that deep dive that dropped in. Again, there was a lot of things that really caught my eye, but the one that truly made me sit there and go back and look at it over and over again was the QB vision. And again, looking from a dynasty perspective, I'm trying to figure out, is this going to automatically make metas, right? Again, if you, and I know, and most people that play video games, the meta could, obviously it's going to be the best build or the best gun. And in this case, it's going to be the best abilities or the best type of player archetype or whatever. And if you're going to limit something on one attribute or quarterback, then hopefully that's limits to others, okay? But first, let's just talk about the breakdown real quick. It says precision, vision, and strategy. Quarterback play, field vision, height finally matters. It says, in our quest to make pocket passers as viable as they are in real life, we introduce real-world challenges to level the playing field. This is where field vision comes to play. No, there's no vision cone on the field. Again, which is, everybody remembers the vision cones from Madden, right? Back in the day, no one liked that. But what they're trying to do here is, it clear as day as it says, and some people might just read over that, is that in our quest to make pocket passers as valuable as they are in real life. Pocket passers. So what happens is, we all know the meta is always going to be try to get a speed quarterback, right? A quarterback that can run. But the field generals, I'm not sure about your dynasties, but in my dynasties, field generals don't even get touched. Sometimes there could be a 5-star field general and they're not even being touched, right? So I can understand this, but if it's going to be like this, and again, I'm gonna keep on reading, but I want to just go ahead and put this out. If they're going to limit the vision of the smaller quarterbacks, then there shouldn't be any tall quarterbacks that can run. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you have tall quarterbacks, if you have a 6'6" quarterback that does not have any limitations on field vision, but also can have a 90-something speed, then of course that's what everybody's just going to recruit. They're not going to recruit the small quarterback, because the small quarterback is frustrating, because when you say hit, you're getting sacked because right when you see the slant and he's wide open, but his icon disappears because his field vision isn't there. So again, I'm just talking as I go, but I'm already thinking, are they going to make sure that while we're playing Dynasty and we're recruiting, that it's going to be extremely far and few that you'll find a 6'6" quarterback that is a scrambler that has no field vision limitations, that has a lot of speed, right? Cam Newton is once in a generation type guy, so we shouldn't be able to see that Cam Newton 4, 5, 6 times every recruiting cycle, right? If that's the case, and people are, hey, if you want to be a mobile quarterback, you're stuck with the smaller quarterback and you have the limitations of field vision, then yes, that will allow people to make decisions like, yo, I might want to go ahead and go with a pocket quarterback, even though I can't run the option, that type of deal. I'm gonna have to sit in the pocket and just deal with the field, but I'll have field vision, okay? So I'm just rambling, but I just want to talk about that. It says, through conversations with coordinators across the country, one thing kept coming up: the importance of moving the quarterback launch point and how interior pressure can impair vision. We took that to heart. Field vision accounts for your quarterback's height, the size of the offense and defensive line, and the proximity to the pocket. Smaller quarterbacks under center, especially on quick drops or throws between the numbers, will experience realistic visibility limitations. Now, the problem I have there is under center. See, so who the heck is running under center anyway, right? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people aren't really doing it. If you are doing it, you're probably just going to run the ball, or is a boot, right? No one's really truly being under center, saying hit, backing up and doing slants, right? Or that type of deal. Most people, if they're under center, they're either trying to do some type of stretch play or a boot, okay? But again, if that's the only limitations when it's under center, then it's still going to be a free-for-all and everybody's still going to be recruiting mobile quarterbacks, short quarterbacks. Hopefully y'all can understand what I'm saying, is that, people are going to gravitate quickly to what the meta is, and if the only limitations on the center and it's not when you're in the shotgun, because again, smaller quarterbacks in the shotgun still have crazy visibility issues. There's a reason why Russell Wilson and these other guys, they tend to roll out the pocket to be able to see the field better, because when they're in the pocket at 5'10", 5'11", the vision is tremendously impaired, okay? He said that's why many real-life QBs favor shotgun and pistol looks. Okay, there you go. They answered the question I was just talking about. In college football 26, when shorter quarterbacks are surrounded by taller linemen, receiver icons may fade to reflect obstructed sight lines. You can still attack those throws, but expect an accuracy penalty, mirroring the real-world challenges these players face. Now, when you add RNG into anything, you got to be very careful with that, okay? And RNG, if you don't know what this means, it's like a random generated outcome. It has no control over you and your skill and your ability. It's just the game is going to decide, we're going to make this throw bad. I do not want to say really, I do not like RNG in a video game, because then it takes away the competitive advantages that you have. I just feel like in general, you're probably better off just having the icon taken away. But when it's up, allow my skill of how to time and how to accurately throw the ball take over. Do not have the icon up, but still when I release it perfectly, it's going to be a bad throw, because a random generated outcome is saying, well, your quarterback's short, so we're going to randomly do that, because it makes it unexpected and you do not know what the outcome is going to be. So the more control you give the user, the better the game is, in my opinion. RNG is not good at all in video games, okay? I'm just going to put that out there. All right, now for my guys and gals that play basically against computers in Dynasty mode or just in Play Now, this concept is going to be big. Again, I play in a user versus user league, so this doesn't really truly affect us. But for the ones that are playing Dynasty and they are playing against the computer, you will definitely appreciate this more, because the games are going to become even more difficult and more realistic. So the first is the enhanced QB progression system. It says, recognizing lower tier quarterbacks were previously more successful than we would like. We expanded the gap between elite and lower tier quarterbacks to mirror real life disparities more accurately. High awareness quarterbacks will quickly and effectively cycle through multiple receiving options, reflecting the decisive needs and rapid decision making of the nation's elite signal callers. Conversely, lower rated quarterbacks struggle more significantly, realistically managing fewer progressions and demonstrating slower decision making, closely resembling the performance of inexperienced true freshmen or developing quarterbacks seen on Saturdays. See, the funny thing is that on Heisman, I felt like every quarterback was just great. So, you know what I'm saying? So, this is going to be pretty dope. And I think at the end of the day, it's a quality of life improvement that I feel like if it's generally going to be executed the way they're saying, then it's a massive W, because at the end of the day, you know, it does get boring if you're playing just a computer Dynasty league or you're just playing by yourself and you just can routinely either destroy quarterbacks no matter how good or bad they are, or vice versa, you're continuously getting destroyed, you know, because maybe not as great as a player user, but you're getting beat by like a true freshman that's a 68 overall and he's playing like he's, you know, Patrick Mahomes out there. Okay, so this is the one though right here that I think a lot of people are going to love or hate. So it says, recognize the heat. Last year, we saw a heavy reliance on double mug and cover zero blitzes to overwhelm AI quarterbacks. This is fact, because I did it all the time. Making this a critical area of improvement. In college football 26, we introduced an upgraded hot read system and made significant enhancements to quarterback progression logic, double move recognition, and overall blitz response. Quarterbacks with higher awareness now identify multiple hot read options immediately after the snap, mirroring how elite quarterbacks diagnose and counter aggressive pressure in real life. These upgrades reduced the once dominant effective of a double A gap blitzes and created more balanced and strategic gameplay. So basically, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, man, I ran double mug. Like, I could literally just run like 3 blitzes the whole game against the computer, and immediately we're in the game with like 14 sacks. Y'all know what it is, and that was great. And also, if you had user Dynasty leagues where you could play the CPU, those are really big of trying to get some XP. That's why I will always have some of the best outside linebackers and defensive ends in the game, They routinely would win Heisman. They would have 40 sacks, and this is on Heisman level. Like, come on, guys. Like, this is nothing new here. You could literally have the most elite defensive line and outside linebackers in the game because you routinely got 5 or 6 sacks with them. I would literally, once one of my DNs got 5 sacks, I would put someone else in just so I can get them as much XP and get them as highly rated and upgrade as many badges as possible. So this is going to be a massive quality of life change. I really appreciate that because I'm not going to lie. I'm a type of person, I cannot hold back, you know, the immense anxiety I have when I'm playing a computer and just try to play without cheesing, right? So like I need EA to help me from cheesing, because if I know I can just do this bits over and over again and just destroy the computer, then I'm just gonna do it, right? Because I want to get out as much points and XP as I can. So if they can fix that for me and help me out, help me out, then that is going to be a massive W. Okay, so that's what I have for today. Just want to talk about, what do y'all feel about the QB vision that's being implemented? Do you feel like it's going to hinder the smaller quarterbacks, or where do you feel, or do you stand on that as far as, is it going to be, hey, make sure you balance this out, do not be giving tall quarterbacks speed like that, and then also, what do you feel about the quality of life upgrades with the CPU just being a little bit smarter? Okay, but other than that, it's your favorite old head, Uncle Demi. I'll be back really soon with Banger Man. When I say back soon with the Banger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.